So let's start with ADFS now. So I'll first give you one use case, a kind of explanation on why do we need ADFS, and then we'll start it further. So let's say this is one organization. This is another, but I'll discuss about this organization later. So let's say this is your main organization in which you have users, computers, and everyone. So this is, let's say, a user. All right. This is your domain controller. So this domain itself is called, let's say, hm.com. Right? In hm.com, you have this ADDS server. And then in hm.com, you have many applications. So this is app one. This is, let's say, I call it app one. This I'm calling as app two, something of this sort. So a user, when he would like to connect to this application, will send his username, password, or authentication to ADDS, and then ADDS will give him access to app one, or let's say app two, for that purpose. Now, nowadays, what happens is you intend to have a lot of applications from outside, that is ADFS. Not ADFS, I'll not call out ADFS right now, but let's say you want to access something called Office 365. You want to access ServiceNow. You want to access Salesforce. You want to access other third-party applications. So what will happen is this user, let's say this user is saurabh@hm.com and does have a password password@123. So now when this user will be having access to Office 365, that will mean another username password. Let's say saurabh@o365.com, just an example. Then there would be saurabh@servicenow.com, saurabh@salesforce.com, which will actually force me to remember 4 username and password. And there are, if say 10 application, I'll be remembering 10 applications because these applications are cloud-based application. These applications are not running in my organization. My organization can only authenticate on my application. My organization cannot authenticate me on someone else's application, let's say, which is running in Microsoft's data center. So for Microsoft data center, Microsoft would authenticate you, right? But Microsoft, let's say now you use 10 username and passwords for 10 different applications. This is a quite obvious thing that if you are remembering 10 username and password, you would tend to forget them easily. Today you, let's say, forget the password for ServiceNow. You are getting into the queue asking a service desk to reset your password, and daily at least you will be spending 1 or 2 hours for this thing. So what you want as a user, that using saurabh@hm.com with password this particular password, I still should be able to access all these applications. Okay, and the organization which are holding these applications should be able to authenticate me using the same username password, so that the users can have increased productivity. How is this possible? Now let's talk about let's say I delete this. So let's talk about Microsoft. Now Microsoft has Office 365. You are saying Microsoft should also be able to give you access using this username password. But Microsoft doesn't know who is saurabh@hm.com. There are millions of organizations in the world. If Microsoft keeps storing all the username and password, it would be impossible, not difficult, impossible for Microsoft to do that. There are billions of people in the world, and Microsoft, one organization, cannot do that. They store all the username password. And first thing, second thing, no organization would allow Microsoft or would like Microsoft to store a password, and that's why what you are looking at, how is this possible that still Microsoft, without storing your username and password, should still be able to give you access using your username password which is in your organization. This is possible through something called ADFS. So you need to have another server apart from ADDS called ADFS, Active Directory Federation Services. Now we talked about something called forest level trust. There is something again called a federation trust. So if there is a federation trust between these organizations, then what Microsoft can do is, if your organization has already authenticated you, have issued you a ADFS token, so when this user will be accessing this Office 365, Microsoft will just check that token, that claim aware token, that if this user has already been authenticated and I trust H&M, I know H&M well. If H&M has already authenticated, let me give the access to the user. This is what ADFS means. ADFS means that when you are a part of one organization and would like to access resources in some other organization using your same username password, then ADFS comes into the picture and provides that functionality. Of course, I'll be talking much more detail about ADFS, that how is it possible, but just to give you an idea of how this is possible. Now, this is not only with, let's say, Microsoft or one of organization. Let's talk about in your mobile, you might be having 50 of application, Ola, Uber, Zomato, Swiggy, and whatnot. All these applications are there. Do you remember for 50 usernames and password to log in? No. You tend to log in into these applications using your Google, your Gmail ID or Facebook ID, because these organizations also know that you can remember only a couple of username password. Let's say everyone can remember the username password for Gmail. Everyone can remember their username and password for, let's say, Facebook. So that's why IMDb, instead of creating their own username password, would ask you to log in using Facebook or Gmail, because they already have this federation trust with Gmail and Facebook, that if Facebook or Google authenticate you and they trust Google, they would automatically authenticate you and give you access to their application. That's why we do not have 50 username and password for 50 application. We only have one application which we can remember, and then using that we log into all the other applications or services, may it be Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Uber, any sort of other application, we'd have that. Only for banking application, we do not prefer that, because they would like to have a separate username password. But for most of the application, it works like that. Even previously, most of the website I used to apply, let's say in Microsoft, Adobe, Google. So for job, there was Tailor.net as their job portal. Now after 6 months, when I was revising my resume, I was always forgetting the username and password that I used to create for these different organizations. Let's say what I had created for Deloitte, I forgot for Google or let's say Microsoft. Now what these organizations nowadays have done is they all have allowed login through LinkedIn, because they know users would at least remember the username and password for LinkedIn. If all of us allow them to log in through LinkedIn, they would perhaps be never able to never would be let's say forgetting their password and would waste hours to reset it, right? So that's why nowadays federation service is so much important. Federation service actually gives you not only the opportunity for two organizations to interact together, but also one organization who is the application provider. So this particular is the application provider, and this one is the identity provider. Your organization is called the identity provider. So application provider can give access to the user from the identity provider by just having a trust between the identity provider to be able to do that. So now let me show you the process how this is possible, and then we'll move to the second break. So let's go into Azure. So I'll be putting up these notes as well, so that you can review in your free time. So first, let me talk about the process. How is it possible? And then again, not only this, it also provides you the opportunity for having single sign-on, right? So what happens now? ADFS server needs to be installed first of all. Apart, you already have a ADDS server. Now, additionally, in your organization, also you need to have something called ADFS server. Now, ADFS server has one service called Security Token Service, STS. This STS is the primary or the main service which is running on the ADFS server. Now, what happens is when you log in as a normal user, okay, you send your username password, it is shown that you request a token, but it is automatically requested from your or on your part. You only enter your username and password. Let's say I am logging into my organization's laptop. So I enter username and password. This request goes to ADDS, which gets authenticated, and I am now in. Also, this request also goes to the ADFS, and by default, I am issued a token. Now, how does ADFS issue a token? So after receiving a request, you are first authenticated, right? Then the STS service on ADFS actually goes to the ADDS to check what are you authorized to use in on-premise also and on internet also, which all application are you allowed. So then using that information, they will create a token. In this token, not only your authentication, but your authorization information would also be there. Along with that, there will be a signature of this STS that I am signing this token. Now, if you go to access any other application on internet, you should be able to do that if you already have access. So this user has this token. Now, this is not a token, physical token or virtual token. This is actually a cookie from internet. So this cookie based token you have. Now, let's say this user access application like Office 365 on internet. The moment he opens Office 365 or browse for it, this token automatically gets submitted to the organization, that is Microsoft. Now, Microsoft maintains a list of trusted STS, that is list of trusted ADFS servers or organization whom they trust. If this in this token they find that you have access to Office 365, that is the authorization information that was inserted by ADFS server. Also, they would check the signature of the STS. If that signature matches their list of trusted STS, they would not even give you the logon page. They will give you a single sign-on access to their application without asking you anything. Why? Because they trust your organization. They know if your organization has authenticated and authorized you, then we are nobody to ask, because we have that sort of federation, trust, partnership with your organization to give you access if they have already done that, the authentication and authorization part. That's how this ADFS works. So for this, the main thing is, or the main technology which is used behind is called SAML, Security Assertion Markup Language. That is, these applications should be claim aware. They should be able to accept a claim token, and your organization should be able to give you the claim token. So these applications must be claim aware, like Office 365, Salesforce, ServiceNow. Any organization who would like to authenticate users from other organizations on their application need to create a claim aware application, such that when there is an incoming claim token, you can check the claim token, check the signature of STS. If you trust them, go for the access. Do not even ask another question. That is how the ADFS works. And nowadays it is really important to understand what is ADFS. Without understanding ADFS, I don't think you can go for internet facing application, or being be even a Azure architect, or let's say a cloud architect. Very important to understand ADFS. Now in ADFS, another few things. So I've already told you this, but again I am explaining. User is a part of identity provider. That is, he is in the organization, and that organization acts as the identity provider for the user. It has the ADDS and ADFS server, and this identity providers issues you the token, and that token is accepted by the application provider to give you access to the application. In our case, application provider can be Microsoft, ServiceNow, Salesforce, or any similar organization, right? So now let me also give you some idea on the theory. Whatever I've told you, the same thing are also mentioned in the theory. So let's read about it. So let me launch it in Edge. So these notes which I am actually showing you also have ADDS thing. Like today what we have discussed about the domain, forest, everything is there. You can review it in a free time. But what I wanted to show you is mainly about the Active Directory Federation service. So ADF is a service of AD and a feature of Windows Server that helps a user to access application and system outside the company network and firewall using their own credential and without signing in again. So not only it is giving you single sign on, but also making sure you do not have to remember multiple username and password. Your same username password which you have in the identity provider that is given by your organization can be used to access anything. Now you people are already working in IT. You must have seen for Office 365 Access, which is running in Microsoft's data center, you do not have a separate username password. Your organization has given you a username password which you are using. So let's say if Nimesh is working with IBM, so nimesh@ibm.com should be enough for Nimesh to be able to access Office 365. And that's the case because there is a federation trust between your organization and Microsoft. So ADFS is being implemented by your organization. ADFS authenticate users on third-party systems such as another company's extranet or service hosted by a cloud provider, right? ADFS requires a federated trust relationship between two organizations or entities. Now, few people previously asked me, is it not possible if we can also, if we can have forest level trust between these organizations? Answer is no. If you have a forest level trust between two organizations, let's say Microsoft and your organization, then you get access to all the Microsoft services. Microsoft has, let's say, 500 services, out of which they wanted you to be only able to access Office 365. But not only you got access to Office 365, but with their entire catalog of services. Why? Because you created a forest level trust. Organization like Microsoft would never accept that, because for forest level trust, there is no way for an organization to restrict the users on all these services. And no organization would like to have a forest level trust that is expose everything, every service of their to other organization. That's why there is something called federation service or federation trust. So it allows a comprehensive forest trust where organizations get to retain control over who can access your resources and also what resources they would like to expose to the internet. So also it enables organization to retain control of their users and group accounts, and also make sure that you do have the very correct permission and access. Now just to summarize, ADFS is an identity access solution that provides client computer with seamless single sign-on access to protected internet-facing application or services, even when user accounts and application are located in a completely different network or organization. So you are in a different organization, application is in a different organization, in a different data center, still you are able to access that application using the same username password which is in your organization. That's what ADFS can do. Very strong and very robust service, very important for nowadays, especially when we have all the applications internet facing and cloud application. Very important nowadays. People do not prefer to have local application in the data center. In fact, they would like to have these internet facing application. Very important to understand ADFS. Another example, many websites give you option to log in with Google Plus, that is Google, maybe Gmail, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Why? Because these application or a website already have this trust with Google, Facebook, or LinkedIn to be able to, or this federation trust. If they authenticate you, they would not ask a single question and give you access. So that is what, why? Because these organizations have federation trust between Google, themselves and Google, Facebook. This is what they do. The last thing, core technology behind ADFS is claim-based identity. That is, a claim token is being issued to the user, which is actually getting submitted to the application. Application sees that token, check for the STS, if that STS is being trusted, and if it is trusted, they would not ask you a single question and give you single sign-on access. So claim-based authentication requires SAML, Security Assertion Markup Language tokens, SAML tokens. These tokens are issued by the ADFS server. So what a claim means? Claim means combining your authentication and authorization information and then writing a signature from the STS. That is what a claim means. Then you have already seen these two diagrams. That is on the next page, that you as identity provider providing the claim to the user, which gets submitted to the application provider, and user get the access. That is using the same username and password. And then this was the process. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope now you have some good understanding of what ADFS is.